Hello and a happy new year to you all from Luke Overthinks. And this video is by way of being a review of last year, referring back to the review of the year before that I did on the 1st of January 2020. Basically trying to see how much of what I hoped I would get done, I got done. Spoilers, not much. First up is Captain Scarlet on Blu-ray. Yes, I got it. Yes, I have started watching it. No, I haven't got very far, and that's because I wanted to do a podcast for you guys, probably called UFOcast does Captain Scarlet. 3 episodes are in the can. They're about 10 minutes of reflections on the episode each. So I've done the first 3 episodes. Basically, I wanted to get more in the can before releasing them, and so that will take some more time. Hopefully you will start to hear them in 2021 at some point. On a Jerry Anderson related note, the Thunderbirds board game that I talked about, board gaming in the pandemic has not really been happening. I managed to play Scrabble over Zoom with a method that I'd come up with for selecting the tiles with my dad. But yeah, there's not really been much board gaming, and I haven't really felt like making videos about board games. So yeah, when board gaming is, we're able to do it again, I want to do some more board gaming videos. So that does include doing Thunderbirds at some point. It does include reviewing the new expansion of Clank in Space. Well, it involves doing Clank in Space at some point. The new expansion for which I was just about to get when I last talked about it. Played it once, I think, was really good. But again, haven't been able to play it with people this year. Starfarers of Catan, again, has been brilliant. The little I was able to play at the beginning of the year. And there is now a 5 or 6 player expansion, which I would love to get, but I'm not going to shell out money for it until I can actually meet with people to play it. But it is definitely worth getting into if you like Catan and you like spaceships. The one game I was able to buy and play this year is this, The Great Escape, because it's a quick and easy game. It's a solo game. And this was a recommendation on a board games group on Facebook based on what is the game that is most like the movie or TV show that it's based on. Which should have been a clue as to how insanely hard this is. Because if you've watched the film, spoilers, although lots of people get out, most of them are captured or killed by the end of the film. And given that the object of the game is to get as many people away from the prison camp safely, you can see why, if it's as accurate to the film as it is, that would be really insanely hard. So I did get this. I had a flurry of playing it. I will probably play it a bit more this year, and I would love to do a video about it. This time last year, we were expecting a whole slew of new Target books. We are still expecting those Target books because their release was bumped from 2020 to 2021. I will hopefully get them all when they come out, and we'll talk about them then. What I did get, partly because I have only recently discovered it came out in paperback, partly because my boss bought me a book token for Christmas, is this little tome, the Target Storybook, which is extra little additions to existing TV stories, as far as I am aware, and it contains Terrence Sticks's last work. So that's, well, I mean, I'm looking forward to it. We will see how the stories measure up. I've heard various things, mixed things about this book online. We will see what I think. Animated Doctor Who. This time last year, I had picked up Sharda on Blu-ray. Really enjoyed it. This has to be the, if you can say there's a definitive version, this has to be that. Really, really well done. And the mix between live action and animation worked much better than I was expecting. And great to see new visual effects sequences done for it as well. On a Sharda-related note, Flash is being discontinued by Adobe. They are saying uninstall it. Chrome won't let you use it. Safari won't let you use it, I don't think, either. Which means that if you have the Sharda DVD, which has the BBC I 8th Doctor version of Sharda with the animations in Flash, you are going to struggle to be able to play that from now on. And I'm also wondering what it means for the archiving and future releases of things like Scream of the Shelker, the Invasion animations. I don't know what other animations were made in Flash. Obviously, it's been replaced now with Adobe Animate, which is what they're using for the more recent animations. Yeah, it's going to be interesting, because I was hoping at some point there would be an HD version of Shelker, maybe, if they get round to doing the black and white stuff on Blu-ray. Not that I'm buying those sets, but you would assume they'd want to release the animation stuff in HD if possible. So we will see how that goes forth. And so this time last year, I had watched Macra and was expecting expecting this one. We didn't know about this one. But yeah, 2 more animated Catan stories. 12 episodes, 2 of which exist, but they animated them anyway because the bulk of the story is going to be animation. So that was fab. This, I'm 4 episodes in, is also fab. They just get better and better. These are definitely the 2 best thus far. They also re-released Power, but I'm not interested in getting that because I was happy with the original release and I prefer watching them in colour. If you have picked up the special edition, do let me know. It is absolutely astounding that of the 53 missing Trout episodes, we have 26 now. The 27th coming out next year definitely is The Web of Fear 3, which they're animating. They must be about to announce, I'm sure, another full animated one. Will it be Evil of the Daleks? Will it be Abominable Snowmen? Don't know. I'd love to do a Hartnell, though, because of the 44 missing Hartnell episodes, only 3 have been animated. And I love me some Hartnell. Whether they've done the sums and the market for Hartnells is not big, I don't know. If somebody is in the know, would tell. I'd just love to have one announced this year. That would be fab. But I am loving them. I understand some people prefer the recon, some people prefer the audio soundtrack with additional narration. I enjoy those, but I do think these animations are the way forward for viewing these missing stories. Loving what they've done so far. If you're a purist, then Fury in particular is not for you because they do go off-piste with the visuals. And I did notice on Faceless Ones they are actually slightly shorter. They've trimmed. It's literally frames here, seconds here to improve the pacing ever so slightly. But yeah, we'll see how that progresses as we go. Now, at the beginning of last year, I had borrowed Tom Holland's Dominion from my local library, and I read the introduction. In fact, I'm not sure I even finished reading the introduction. I just did not find the time to read it, which was a shame because I was really looking forward to that book. Fast forward to the end of this year, and I have now got the audiobook and have listened to the whole, I think it's 22 hours. It is a long book, but it needs to be because it charts pre-Christian history right through to the present day, in sort of kind of snippets, a century at a time-ish, as we go through the chapters. And it provides a compelling case for why, if you are a Westerner, you have been brought up in a culture that has been unmistakably shaped by the Christian story. Whether you believe in it or not, where you stand on those foundations. And the question for the future is: can where we stand survive if we take the foundation away? My answer to that is no, but we will see in time. Anyway, I said I wanted to read that because it would impinge on some thoughts I'd been having about the Romans, the 2nd season Doctor Who story, and the contrast between the TV version, the book version, and a particular aspect of the story that is very different in each medium. And then how Tom Holland's book relates to that. So that will happen. Okay, last time I said I wasn't going to make any promises. I'm not going to make any promises now. But I would really, really hope to get that project out of my head and into your eyeballs at some point this year because I think it's really interesting. It's something I wanted to talk about and say for a long time. And hopefully I'll find the time to do it. As far as rewatching any other Doctor Who, it's been slim pickings this year. I said I wanted to finish rewatching Series 7. I haven't. I said I wanted to start rewatching Series 8. I've watched 3 episodes over the course of the year. I can't even remember what points in the year I did that. I think Deep Breath and Into the Dalek were quite early on, and then Robot of Sherwood was sometime in the autumn. Which I really enjoyed, actually. I know people don't like it, but I quite enjoy it. Into the Dalek, great. Deep Breath, which was what I thought of them before. So, not much has changed there. And I hope to do more, because whatever I think about Stephen Moffat's writing, Capaldi's a great Doctor, and so he deserves a rerun in my viewing. And I still haven't watched The Return of Dr. Mysterio. It was a Christmas special that happened and passed me by. I also still haven't watched An Autumn Menace episode 2, although I've had the DVD for years now. There are some bits of Doctor Who that need rewatching or watching for the first time. 2020 was yet another year in which Michael and I did not do a Prisoner podcast. And the chances of it happening in 2021 are, I don't know. Michael, if you're watching, which you probably are, we need to talk again. I'm saying slim. I'm saying it's a slim chance it will happen this year, but we will see. Really want to do that. It's a great show. There are aspects of it that are scarily pertinent to today, which is something I didn't think I'd be saying, but it's true. So looking forward to rewatching that again. And whether I get my wife on board for watching that for the first time, we will see. What we have done this year, if you've been following this channel, if you've been listening to the podcast version of this, is UFOcast as Doctor Who, which was sparked by the Doctor Who magazine First Doctor World Cup on Twitter. We decided to have a rerun. And when I say we, that is myself, that is Michael from Tin Dog, that is Tony Cross, and that is Siobhan Galishon. And we have since done the 7th Doctor as well. We have recorded the 9th Doctor without Siobhan, because she wasn't well. But that has been sat waiting to be edited on my hard drive for ages. So that will happen this year. And hopefully we'll do some more of those, because they've been a lot of fun getting the four of us together to just natter about our favourite Doctor Who stories in a World Cup group and knockout format. And if you haven't heard any of those, there'll be a link somewhere around up there for you to have a look. Oh yeah, somewhere in my notes I forgot Time of the Daleks in the board gaming stuff. And again, that just because board gaming hasn't been happening, I haven't been thinking about it. And those 3 expansions that we talked about last year all did come out. I believe Adam from Staggering Stories bought them. I don't think he's played them yet. I, again, will get them at some point when board gaming returns to being a thing that we can do post-pandemic. And I look forward to finding all the spelling mistakes. So the final thing to talk about is Rivers of London, which a year ago we had just had October Man, which is the second novella, which I enjoyed. The 8th novel had been postponed from Christmas to Easter. False Value, that one's called. Really enjoyed that, with all of its hitchhikery references. It was a sort of fresh start because book 7 had sort of ended one ongoing plot thread. But there were occasional points where I was like, it's been a long time since I've read the previous one, because it's a year or so between novels and you don't always remember all the finer details. So I just decided now was the time for a reread, just going back to novel 1 and so on. And I'd also picked up the first graphic novel, which slots somewhere into the series. Anyway, have then been slotting in the other graphic novels as I've gone. So as I speak to you now, we've got to the end of book 6. And the first novella, which came out after book 6 but is set before it, so I've read that, and I've just finished graphic novel 5. And so there's next is graphic novel 6, and then book 7 in my reread. And then we've got October Man and False Value to reread. The 7th graphic novel, I believe, is set all the way back in the war, so that's a sort of prequel. I haven't got that yet. And then there's an 8th graphic novel, which I don't think is available for Kindle yet, which I've been getting them on Kindle. Really been enjoying that. As with so much that I read or do, I kind of go, I want to do a video about this or a podcast about this, and there's just no time. Because right back at the beginning of the year, I re-interviewed for a job, got it, and started on the first day of lockdown. My wife's not been very well these past couple of months. So basically, it's been a year of juggling employed work. Basically, it's been a year of juggling employed work, self-employment, and childcare. And that's just meant that a lot of stuff has got squeezed out. Sporadic as this channel has been, this year has been particularly difficult at producing new content. And that state of affairs is unlikely to change any time in the immediate future. So, hello, Happy New Year. I am not promising anything at this point. I hope to do more content soon. I hope your 2021 is better than your 2020. And I will see you in the next video or podcast or whatever it happens to be. It's good to be here doing a video for you now.